Okay guys, 159 tinkering day today. I've had the car a couple of days now. Driven it about 200 miles, 220 miles since I've had it motorway driving. It's a little bit of a splutter, a little bit of a cough. Around 2000 revs, so I'm thinking EGR valve being a diesel. So we're going to plug in the OBD system. This is down here somewhere. And then hopefully we can get a read on it. These are a bit sort of known for the EGR valves clogging up, so we'll see what's happening and potentially get that EGR valve out today and clean it. Is that in properly? No, it's not. There we go. Right, so she's in. This is the system I tried on my other video with the MG. It worked well, so let's have a look. I'm going to take the EGR out anyway because it's been coughing and spluttering a little bit around 1,500, 2,000 revs. But the car's been driving absolutely beautifully, so it's good practice to get these EGR valves out, give them a clean. So it's saying no. Vehicle has no codes. Thing is, the codes could have been cleared before the MOT. It only had the MOT a couple of weeks ago. So a couple of weeks ago. So we'll have to just dig in and see what we see with our own eyes, won't we? Have to see what we see with our own eyes. So okay, so I'll switch this off and I'll see you again in a minute. Well, honestly, that's not looking as bad as I expected to see in there. I certainly do with cleaning. So I'll get in, make sure the valve's moving nicely back and forth. That's all I can do, I think. And see if she runs a little bit smoother. I mean, oh, hang on, bam. There we go. That's bad. Okay. Clean this first. Then we move on to the next. So you can see it's a lot better in there, and loads came out, but it's moving quite freely, so this may not be the problems. I don't know if you can see tight in there, but I'll scrape out on the engine side, pop it all back together. That's pretty much all I can really do. We didn't have a warning light, so yeah, we'll just have to see how she goes. It's not going to be perfect. I don't know if I get you guys in there. You can see I've scraped it out. It's honestly not too bad. It's the other thing to look out for with these JTDm engines. They say the injectors can give you a little bit of a leak, but there's no smell of diesel here. There's no injector leak I can see. And when you're on the throttle, it's okay. I'm hoping it's nothing to do with sort of swirl valves or wastegating. It's not timing, because when you get on it, like I say, it's great. So I don't think I'm going to bother diving into. I'm assuming that's the other end of the EGR pipe. We're not going to dive in. I don't particularly want to blank it off, because if it's doing its job, there's no need. Turbo's down there, but I don't even want to think about it if it comes to the point where I'm going to have to turbo it. So, chuck the EGR valve back on, and we just have to see how she goes. Do you want to watch me struggle with that? I expect so. Right, just the last tiniest pinch with this. Like I say, it's aluminium bolts, you don't want to be cranking on these. Just a pinch tight. Don't feel enough. I'd rather see a little bit of a blow out of here. Strip these bolts. I would leave this bracket off, but I'm not taking it back apart because there's nothing really I can do. So as long as she fires up nicely now, hopefully the cough and the fat and the splutter has gone. If it hasn't, I'm just going to have to drive it until it throws up a warning light, really. So there's half a tank of fuel in my bought. I don't know how old that fuel was. I've got about 1/8 of a tank left, so I might chuck in some premium diesel. A can of fuel cleaner, a little bottle of an injector cleaner, and just take 1 or 2 little spirited drives and see if that either throws up a light or fixes the problem. At least we get a light, we can look in an area. So nothing's going to fall in the engine, right? Great. So the thing I noticed, the thrust bearing seems a little bit noisy when you first turn it on before you've had it warm. I don't know, I might have to just stick you on the windscreen and go for a test drive, I reckon. That seems the sensible thing to do, doesn't it? Yeah, let's do that. So what else I am thinking now, map sensor, or MAF sensor, whichever one this is. But I'm wondering if that could be a chance. I don't want to take that off because of these clips. I hate them. I want to get some bigger Jubilee clips so I can replace them with the right. Alfa Romeo love these clips and they're an absolute pain in the ass. They do a great job until you take them off and you can't get the buggers back on. So I don't know if I'm going to take that off today. But you watch. Cut to me taking that bloody thing off. Ooh, there you go. Right, so taking it for a test drive is pretty much all we can do. Let's hope it don't splutter. I might get out later, buy some Jubilee clips. And then we'll whip that MAF sensor off and at least, yeah, feel that hiccup then. It's right between 15 and 1600, but I'll take it for a little blast in case that's just any of the crap falling through. But either way, we took a lot of dust out of that EGR sensor, so I'm better off without it in there. Or EGR valve, I should say. So I'd rather have that stuff out of the car than in it. Like I say, when you lean on it, it grabs and it goes, which makes me think, well, it's not going to be injectors. So I would have thought if it was an injector or a fuel system side problem, the more you were on the throttle, the more likely to feel it struggling. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So, yeah, who knows? That was me, that was bad gear change. So no, I think that MAF or MAP sensor, whichever one it is, I'm sure we'd all know soon enough. That's probably a good shout. It's probably worth looking at that. I've got a load of electrical contact cleaner. I know you can buy specialist stuff, but they're very similar things. But so I'm just testing the waters. You know, unless it looks greasy or tacky or anything like that. I don't know. We'll have to just test, won't we? Okay, 1 cup of tea later. I made a mistake here when I said my MAF. I'm going to go out and try and get a couple of Jubilee clips later. But I think it could easily be this as well, the MAP sensor. So if I can find a screw the right size, I'm going to whip that out, give it a clean. And then next up would be that. I think that's more likely to send out sort of the immediate fueling issues I'm getting. So I'll try and get that out then, and then we'll see where we stand from there. Right guys, excuse all the weeds in my garden. I come out the back because people have a domestic out the front. But I'm no mechanic. But would you say that that could be the problem? Crazy. I can't see what that's reading. You know what I mean? So there we go. This is the MAP sensor. I took it out. Oh, trying to find my original socket. Standard, you know. Couldn't find it bloody anywhere. Got a full socket set somewhere. We had a strong wind, knocked over our little shed. Dropped all that stuff everywhere and I can't find it. So anyway, I'm going to scrub this up now. And we'll see if that improves in any way. Okay, here's where we are. Totally the wrong material, electrical contact cleaner. It's all electrical stuff here, it's solid. But this is where we are now. I'll focus on this. So at least now we can see the filament inside, or the element I should say, not the filament. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot better than it was. I think we can all agree on that, but it's definitely not perfect. But look at that, bogging. So we'll sling her back on, see how she goes. But yeah, I think a fuel system cleaner will be going through. This doesn't look like 2 older parts. What's the date on there? 2012, well, I suppose. And look at the service history. This car did actually have the EGR rebuilt, taken off and rebuilt in 2012. So that kind of adds up there. But yeah, we'll sling it back on. That's got to help, hasn't it? Got to help. But I'll still get a good Jubilee clip later. Whip out that MAF sensor. And I think sensible thing to do will be air filter, oil filter, fuel filter if it's a tidy price. I'll probably jump on auto dock. And we'll see how she goes. Give it a little spray in there, make sure the contacts are. I don't know why I wear these gloves. My thumb always comes through. If anyone knows any really, really good gloves, want to send me a test pack, let me know, because I don't have to go through these bloody gloves. Right, I'm going to check it back on the car, and then I'll let you know how it all works out. Okay. Fingers crossed. See if it starts a bit easier. Don't know if it's going to set up a fault now. Okay, it started now, it started smooth. Initially I'd say takeover's a bit smoother. I'll take for a test drive. I'm not going to bother sticking you up on the dash, I'll just let you know how it went. Oh come on, fingers crossed. That might be it, let's see. Well guys, it's evening now. After what I left off saying the car felt great, literally 15 seconds after turning that video off, just ting 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 bang bang bang. I was like, oh my god, sounded like one of the valves had fallen off or something. Sounded awful. I spent the whole day chasing things, map back off, map sensor, checking everything, even to the point where I thought the turbo had died because it wasn't boosting up. I was getting no power, I was getting no nothing. Then I thought maybe it's the DPF. I'll test the DPF tonight, take it for a really good drive, try and blast it through, and then worst case scenario, tomorrow when everything's cold, check the turbo. But before I did that, I thought, right, took the turbo pipe off, felt in, there's no movement, no play, and it was spinning. So I thought, right, full send. If you're going to blow up, let's let it blow up close to home. So I went down to the petrol station, I chucked in some good fuel and a bit of a fuel cleaner, booted it, and now the car's running lovely. Spluttering's all gone and everything. So now I'm about to go up to the chip shop, and I'm knackered. I'm knackered chasing around. I suppose by the pricing of new turbos, manifolds, all that, thinking, oh great, you know, we've only had the car a couple of days. But touch wood, it's running absolutely beautifully now. And yeah, God, panic stations, you know, trying to do a little job. I had a feeling it couldn't be too much, but yeah, it was really spluttering, so I think it might be injectors and stuff. So thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully it'll be handy to someone else who wants to do the EGR valve as well. But I'm going to get some chips now because I'm absolutely starving, absolutely knackered, I'm stinking. I just want to eat. But no, the car's running lovely, revving great. So thanks for watching guys. I'll see you on the next one, and hopefully it'll be something enjoyable like cleaning the leather or fixing the paintwork. Not something where I think I'm going to have to buy a new turbo system. Cars 8. Thanks for watching guys. Catch you on the next one.